So this could be a little bit of a boiling pot over on the ruins on that southwest island. You can see that, oh, Kara already taking damage and have been flushed out for one. A second, very soon as well, and it's not looking good for them. This is, of course, Kara's first match in the game, and they're playing up against the Boars, who, as we talked about before, right, some really talented fraggers on this roster, so certainly not a team you want to come across in this scenario. Tulika turns the corner, keeps his teammates safe. They're all alive as Havik gets rezzed.
Marceau gets knocked and flushed by Pusher. We're definitely pushing in towards their territory currently. A model, though, from Rook, like you said, on the outside edge, will find one shot over towards him. He is in cover, rezzable, but that does put a little bit of extra pressure onto this fight.
Tulika also has a player just around the corner from Kara, but it's not just Boars that Rook are taking shots at. They're also taking shots at Kara. A CEO later on a sliver of HP. He doesn't have any meds. This is the downside of these early game fights. As soon as you go down to a low HP, you can't get back up, but it may not matter. You only need to tag on with these one-shots because the armor is low as well. They both know about this door frame. Goes for the flush, so Boars lose one fully. And in the backline's no real backup, but the jump out wide seals the deal. But at the cost of a player, that is nasty news. And Rook still have this surround.
Yeah, Push is in a bad spot. It's really hard for them to get out. I mean, they'd have to immediately run out into open ground, and likely by this point, Rook's already set up off angles, and they're just baiting Pusher. They will finish him off there as he tends to get back in, and Rook picks up. Ona finding a Zell, start things off. Not a bad shot from him at long range, and the flush will come through.
Them off, but looks like they have found a knock on that off angle. Nico holds his own on the angle, so Rook taking heavy casualties there. And on today is not the day that you want that to happen. On their final chance to try and make it through, Rook just going again for another potentially poor performance here on Sandhawk.
Which is very unfortunate. Again, Thunder TalQ's cutting them off, and that's a little bit of a read coming in from yesterday. Striker will run down, which is playable. Not going to be able to rock through there very nicely, so K1 gets the pick of the litter going forward in terms of a central spot. Bra is likely looking just to hold off a lot of teams coming in from that western side. That's Black Esports, IDA, TTQ, and the remnants of Rook on that south side.
For the time being. Footballists, again, these two teams of Footballists and Rook both looking to try and prove themselves today. Boars rolling up towards Quantum, but he's staying chill. Actually, he's going to have a little shot out the window there with the DBS. Finds the range on it. Quantum has to be pushed back inside the cupboard and actually drops the Molotov. That's going to slow the approach, give him time to get that first aid off. Actually, he's going to take matters into his own hands, steps a little bit further forwards, exposes himself to the window, though, and that could be dangerous.
Is along the way, though, just about gets the first aid kit off, but not able to pull out the DBS just in time. But good moves coming through from Quantum. 3 heading in, and 2 coming through from Ball. And for Bra, there was a hope that they were able to hold out a lot of teams, but they are just getting peppered from all directions. K1 even taking shots from across the quarry itself.
Long-range engagement. The Boars go down in 14th place with 5 elims, though. So, again, that's going to be good enough, right? To find a game like that on your first game, it's going to be okay. You're not going to be too disappointed with that, especially when you had a hot drop on the cards as well, over in Ruins. Full surround by Rook there. But now, Bra struggling to get out of there. They've only got 4 eliminations as well. With 39 points on the card, though, again, not a disaster. Black Esports with 3 players right next to BWNRX, who is, again, another team we're looking to really prove that they're not just a podium team. They are a first-place champion team. But for now, I have to bide their time.
Keep themselves nice and tucked away. It's TTQ, who were very quick on the trigger there, finding themselves in a position where they can hold out. Voice coming through from Bra. There's our map feed. The circle moves down towards the southeast, keeping Bra in, and TTQ actually have a very nice look on this one. Meantime, IDA moving through, and the 2 remaining players from Ruka holding on to a ledge right now. 1 player does fall. That's right. Did a good job on that north side, though, John, being able to hold out Team Ego.
Making sure that they've got that ground under control. Oh, is that Besiktas? Yeah, have lost a player. Swain falling on this northeast side as well. BW next Ruya trying to push on in from this northern edge as they try and sweep around. 3 eliminations. So a fairly solid result. The west edge of Quarry, that compound that Bra held so early on.
It was fairly good that they were able to hold up as 3 players. It went down to 2. Much more difficult, but TTQ not taking any prisoners there. We'll find another shot over towards them. Galatasaray also in a difficult position. Nice player from Papara, Supermassive. Kamikaze does go down the distance, and Galatasaray continue to put up points this game.
The run down over towards Besiktas as well on the eastern side in the meantime. Footballists holding on this north, but the blue zone will push them out, and Yekta needs to get on the road into the vehicle. And they have got that forward outpost to route towards, so should be okay there. Kisyu spraying down towards Ona, who's down on knee already. Besiktas playing on with 3. Looks like they're going to keep this one rolling on the eastern side. They are trapped again behind this quarry, which could potentially be a real stick in the mud for their gameplay this match.
Surprised Hardman lived that long, but does finally get taken out by BWNRX, who are holding strong with 4 players currently. Of course, on the northwest side, Black Esports were very close to them. We're now just down to that 1 player now. Footballers looking to put more.
The K1 on the eastern side, though, they're in a compound that is fully cut out by this. And they're going to have a lot to do to try and get across, with Foot as well in the way on the northern edge. With even beyond that BWNRX, you've got competition on the
normal spaces cut out on the west. Like, I mean, there is an open compound, but Nico is comfortably holding that off from a lot of players when he's counting out. Call for the rest of his team to take team shots that way. BWNRX, though, cutting Footballers from target. Carly finding Duck in the team, and that seemed like a whole lot of knocks coming through, and does lead to the entire team white. Besiktas making sure teams cannot make their way off the back of this one. It's surprising to me that K1 gets cut down so succinctly. They're able to get 2 players still running, but like you said, we'll have to head in towards the quarry itself.
Down to 6 teams. It is BWNRX who make that first move into the quarry. K1, they were able to take out Besiktas, but they are trapped across the way. It is a really difficult transition to make from these compounds, and the north side is so blocked off. Getting across this quarry is nigh on impossible, and there were 2 to 3 rosters up on that northern side. So for K1, it's about salvage here, but they will go down. Only the 3 Elim. 6th place, though, so not a terrible point-scoring result, but not what they would have hoped for.
BWNR workable space on that southwest side that could afford to have him in this position for a long time. Just needs to be a little bit careful, but those runouts did feel a little bit worrying. Darkin will find Lux, though, which was the player that Nico was looking over towards for a long time. Although he doesn't find the pickoff, doesn't really matter. Did force him into an unfavorable scenario. Good first nade over towards Symphony, though.
A bombardment sent over to him. That's going to leave the ears ringing for Symphony. In they go. The cavalry now looks for their assault onto the back lines. That's exactly what I thought they were going to go for. They were able to surge straight on up, and it is a little bit of a missed trick not to expect that team down in the quarry. Thunder TalQ allowed this to happen. They lacked control over that direction. They were not looking for information. But the zone is further north on this one now, Blank. It's going to go over the road and straight to the BRA compound and the ridgeline that sits behind it, that big rocky ridgeline that sits up to its north. It's fairly exposed when the circle is wide and open, but as soon as it gets smaller and smaller, that is when things start to get tricky and when it can be a massive high ground advantage. You can see that rocky outcrop just ahead there.
Yeah, Bra's been extremely lucky to be able to hold onto this compound for a long time, but they have been scared, quaking in their boots. Not wanting to peek all that often, happy to wait this game out. Either way, though, BWNRX, 8 eliminations. It's been a strong one. Zed Wolf has to back off as Rita does get the explosion on. Though I will say, it felt like a slight overinvestment of Futurist coming through the Mighty 8. They have little to nothing to work with now. And Zed Wolf is comfortably harassing.
Nice nades going along from BRA. Deadwolf standing his ground on the slope, but will go down. But may have slowed IDA down enough. The blue zone, I think, sits on top of one of the BWNRX players, but for the rest of them, they're all out and in the open. IDA may be drawn short here. They have to get across. No two ways about it with the blue zone pushing in. All these teams are being drawn down to their last as Gabriel falls on the inside, but the damage is done. An IDA fall, the reses may be potential there for BWNRX, but I think this may be as far as they go. They're just going to have to hope that they can find a second place if one of these two teams goes down first.
The fact that Striker fires that shot over towards Bra in the middle of all the action, John, is somewhat crazy. Thunder TalQ is very good at taking multiple fights on separate directions. This again is a ridiculously good off angle, been set up by Nico, who immediately knows where he needs to be, at what time. He's tearing BWNRX apart at the moment. Left them down on just the one player.
And he knows where he is as well. Frozen is there. Doesn't want to peek out too wide. Knows that as soon as he steps out, gets a little bit too bold, picks up the last as well. He will be in the BRA sightline, so nice discipline from Nico. That's exactly what you need from an off-angle player. Kairos wants to be a snake in the grass. They're waiting for him. He's waiting until their run out comes on through. They check the angle, but the spray down is there. He's drawn the attention, and that's what he needed to do. Swash trying to stand up, trying to get some suppression down, and Nico does fall. Kairos is close, and there's a chance here for BRA. Rolex, though, not connecting. Striker goes down, and now it's a 1v1 around the edge. Rolex steps out wide, but Kairos is there to seal the deal. It's Thunder TalQ for the first chicken dinner of the day.
It almost looked like it could have been the Bra win off the back of that one. Was a fantastic shot up towards Nico, which is not an easy play to make. And Kairos was completely exposed there. So one good DBS shot